Hi, everybody. I'm Diana, and I'm sitting here with founding partners Sandra Zisckind and Isaac Zisckind. We're going to do some Zisckind versus Zisckind rapid fire questions, such as what they were like as teenagers, how they moved through law school, who was the better student, things of that nature. We really want to see them battle it out, and we want to get to know them a little bit deeper and a little bit better. Let's be very clear right now. Brother and sister.
Correct. Not husband and wife, brother and sister. Correct.
Brother and sister.
Partners, brother and sisters, sworn enemies.
Yes. Frenemies.
Frenemies. Exactly.
And that's exactly what this is about today.
It's competition for our parents' love over and over.
The showdown. Sandra versus Ike.
I'm the better child, always.
Okay. I'm always the better child.
This is going to be a difficult one to moderate, only because I am sitting between two extremely talented, smart siblings. So wish me luck, everyone.
Just to let you know, everybody, if it was a normal day, I'd be wearing my alpha dog male hat.
You should have worn it.
Just to let everyone know, I'm much younger.
Okay. Let's reel it. Let's reel it. To
the point where there's such an age discrepancy that we often don't get each other's generational humor. That's right. I don't get his references. I don't understand his music.
To clarify, Sandra is the younger eldest sibling, and Isaac is the baby brother, the younger brother.
Correct.
Yeah. See, Sandra likes to listen to Kendrick Lamar, according to her.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a Barry Manilow person.
Correct.
Apparently. That's in Sandra's world.
Who's Kendrick Lamar?
Right.
What could Kendrick Lamar be? Okay, guys, let's back up for a second. Let's talk about, leading up to where we are now.
Yes.
So let's talk about your teenager. Sandra, can you describe Isaac in a few short sentences, what kind of teenager he was and what kind of brother he was?
So I was the quintessential...
Don't describe yourself.
Again.
Isaac.
No.
I love it. Describe Isaac. I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
It's true.
I was quintessential good girl.
I was such a good girl. So Isaac was the... rebellious teen, I would say. He was the one who gave my parents the most amount of problems. But Isaac is, much like my son, is the most popular human being. So every time he would have a party, it would be the whole world would show up to the party. So we'd have people in and out of the house all the time. There's always just bodies and people in the house.
You know who else used to show up to those parties? My sister. Sandra. My sister Sandra used to show up to those parties. Sandra, tell them what you did at my parties with all those people.
I just made sure everyone got home okay and they didn't drink and drive, okay?
When you talk about giving your parents problems, like what kind of give one example of a problem.
He had a New Year's party. It was for Y2K, and he had so many people coming to our house for the New Year's party that a promoter in Toronto actually offered him money to cancel the party because it took so much business away. Took so much business away from their promotion. So I think that night we probably had upwards of 250 people circulating in the basement of our home. And then in the morning, there was about 40 or 50 people that just slept over. And by slept over, I meant just passed out all over the house.
Of course.
And we all went to Golden Griddle for pancakes.
That is true. That is true.
That sounds like an epic story. I think I would have been friends with you.
Yeah, you would not have been friends with me.
On that note. So Isaac, why don't you describe Sandra in a couple words or a couple sentences, I should say.
The fuzz.
The fuzz.
End of story.
Period.
No. So growing up with Sandra was a blessing and a curse at the same time. Just like how she is today.
That's all my ex-boyfriends.
Yeah. So Sandra was, 12 going on 20, 15 going on 25, 18 going on 25, always very mature for her age. So, she was the person that if you needed to get out of trouble or yell at somebody, I think even at 15, I had her yell at somebody for me. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember a few occasions my sister got me out of trouble because I didn't know what to say.
That's actually really sweet. I thought he was really going to go.
I thought he was going to go for the jugular too. I didn't know.
Not yet.
Yeah. We're warming up.
Wait. However, Sandra was always the sister to go to my parents and say, I don't understand why you don't punish him. No. I don't understand why your punishment is not enough. Yeah. That's not like she knew what a punishment. Sandy never got punished for anything, but for whatever reason, whatever punishment my parents gave me wasn't enough in my sister's eyes. So if I got grounded for a month, for example, she just looked and she's like, "Oh, you're horrible parents. I can't believe you're letting them get away with this." Yeah. That was Sandy growing up.
Correct.
And then even as younger, and I don't even know how far this goes, but at one point, obviously Sandra was bigger and stronger. And then I turned 8 or 9 or something. And then she stopped growing at 5'2", or how old are you? How tall are you now anyway?
5'5".
5'5". So she stopped growing at 5'5". And I think at one point when I outgrew her, she tried to beat me up. And at that point it wasn't working and I would laugh. And that even pissed her off more. So then she would like make up like stuff that I was hitting her and then scream, Mom, Dad, he hit me. Yeah.
So you're a little like you were a rat and a nerd at the same time.
Correct.
Wow.
But I have to tell you, funny things like my sister would put on, and this is no depiction of her age whatsoever. I'm just throwing this out here.
Nice one.
But all I'm saying is Sandra had one of the first copies of Madonna's like Vogue print album and like special editions. I don't know what year that was, and I'm not going to pretend to guess, but I know she had one of the first editions, and you could hear that album day in and day out, blaring from her room.
Madonna was
running into her room.
My spirit animal. It's true. I loved Madonna.
And you're like, and we're done here.
Vogue, Vogue. All to the house all day. Vogue. Strike a pose. Strike a pose. Strike a pose.
Can you show us a pose right now?
No, I cannot. I cannot.
Given both your very unique experiences as teens and whatever, did you, like Isaac is more of the rebel, I would say. You were the bookworm, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. I did forget to say Sandra that was another thing. Sandra literally would put a book to her forehead and then get an A. There was no reading involved because I used to watch TV shows with her on the couch. She would have her textbook open. I remember this in university even. She would literally like just looking at her textbook and then come home and get straight A's. Me, on the other hand, I could study 4 hours. I had a teacher that hated me, didn't even want me to show up to class. No matter. I even had Sandra write an essay for me to prove to my parents that it wasn't me. And when she got a C on her high school essay on Clockwork Orange that she wrote, she was pissed. She was pissed. And I needed to go that far down the rabbit hole to prove to my parents that there was like an innate hate towards me.
Well, to
be fair, you were not the best student. You would often skip school and do things that you weren't supposed to do.
I had to work on my pool game. It was a very
pool, basketball.
Of networking.
Correct.
Well, the social life took precedence over the school life.
Correct.
That being said, did you ever think
I learned a lot of things in that pool hall.
Did you ever think you would make it this far?
No.
I don't think I even think I would have made it this far.
Really?
Yeah, no.
No.
I think at one point in my life, I was like, me and my buddy were contemplating just going to Mexico and serving tacos until we die. I don't know. Like,
you were just going to live that beach life and like have the best time. So judging based off that, so when you went through the law school, obviously we all know you probably graduated with honors.
Yeah, I was the youngest in my law school class.
Nerd.
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
And Isaac, you just cruised on by?
So
you must have done well at some point to like...
So actually, funny story. So we're going to start at university. So at my 4th year university, when I really started trying like to get marks, I actually had a 94 average. And what happened was I got home.
Wrote everything?
No, she didn't do nothing. I took a natural science course. I'm the last person to know natural science. I take this course and I come home one day and I said, Mom, Dad, I won an award for natural science for having the highest mark in the university. They're like, what?
They didn't believe you?
No, they didn't believe me. They didn't.
My fingers crossed for you.
They didn't believe me. When it came time to the ceremony award, they were like, I don't understand where we're going. I said, I told you I won an award and I'm getting it presented. And they still didn't believe. I think on the way there, they were still like, where are we going? And it's one of those parents who are like, nah, it didn't happen. But then, you know what? Just because my sister and thank God for Sandra. She always did look out for me and said, you're not really good at math or whatever. Why don't you just try writing your LSAT? And I actually did pretty well the first time. And I had to write it, no doubt, a few more times because I wanted to study and go back. Once I got into law school, I was actually a good student. I had no issues.
You buckled down finally. You said, I'm going to take this seriously. And you're going for it. Were you just following her steps? Like, is that something that you even want to get into?
No, I didn't. The truth is, I didn't know what I wanted to do and what I didn't want it to do. Like, when I decided that, when
Sandra just decided for you.
Well, yeah, Sandra decided for me.
Correct. I actually remember the conversation where I told you, you're going to be a lawyer. Yeah. Yes, I actually remember that conversation with Dad on the car talking to you.
I don't actually. I do remember that I took a law course in business. My business was my undergrad major, and I took a law course in business, and I actually enjoyed the case law and learning about it. So I think that kind of sparked my interest. And I think Sandra will always say this, like, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I mean, I was an entrepreneur since I was a teenager. I had oh God, I don't even want to talk about this.
No, you have to.
Okay.
You kind of have to. Just look.
So I had a gardening business.
Yeah.
I had a car wash business called Two Nice Jewish Boys.
No, it wasn't.
Car washing services.
Is this true? Is this valid?
True story.
Two nice Jewish boys?
Yeah. I had a booth.
You should have done Jew wash
Wait,
boys.
I have even better. I'm better. I, Isaac Zisckind, had a booth in Carabana selling West
I
Indie
remember that. Yes.
paraphernalia.
Yes. No, you did. Yes, you did.
Lee
Yes,
Moore
you did.
was making face paint. I was selling T-shirts with Jamaica flags on,
And
Jamaican.
how did you do in that?
I sold everything.
You sold-
I sold everything. Don't get me wrong. But they forget to tell you that when you pay for the booth, you have 1 million of non-licensed vendors outside selling the same stuff that you are.
Right.
So, it is what it is.
Not everything was a home run.
Right.
So
not
this
everything was a home run.
during law school or after?
No.
This is before?
No, before. Like I would say, between high school and undergrad. I mean, in law school, I threw some parties and I made some money there. That was, something that I did. I was always trying to find money and trying to make my own money. I always had that love to start something.
To have that drive to make your own thing.
Right.
And what did you do? You just were schooling and studying? Listening to Madonna?
No, I worked. Well, I did listen to Madonna a lot.
Sandra was the best, worst waitress of all time.
You were a what? I was a waitress? Where?
At a pool hall in Richmond Hill.
Now, if anyone knows Sandra, she can't walk 3 feet without falling. So I don't know.
Slipping something out of her hand.
I don't know how she was a waitress, and I don't think I visited her for that reason. I'm like, no, she's going to just fuck it up.
Things all the time.
Why would a studious lady like yourself go into a pool hall and be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm a waitress. You just want to make the quick buck?
You know, my friend at the time, her father wanted to, had a job for me, and I made a ton of money on tips.
Yeah, of course.
And I just smile and be cute.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'd come home with a wad of cash, and it was a good gig.
Did you have that same thing like he had, like that whole like push to want to be like, to have your own thing?
Yes. We both grew up with the entrepreneurial. That's from our dad. We both grew up wanting to make our own money, stand on our own 2 feet, be independent. It was very important for us.
So then
because our father constantly told us that we'd be nothing in life otherwise.
Correct.
Good on him.
Correct.
Good on that man.
Correct.
And look what he's created though, right?
Nightmares.
So you guys went on.
Coming straight
to live with us.
Coming straight from our operations manager, Morley Zisckind of Diamond and Diamond.
No one wants to live with us or be around.
Who employs nobody at this firm. But yet everybody is scared of.
Yeah, has power over literally everyone. I had to kick Sandra out of my office today because he was talking to me about some flight thing. And I was like, Sandra, you need to go right now. It's Mudge's time, right?
I'm like, I think I'm the managing partner. Oh, no.
Not at all.
If I'm not in by a certain time, my father still calls me and says, where are you? In this guilty tone.
Where are you?
You should have been here 20 minutes ago, and this is not appropriate.
Because you guys are always going to, like I explained to you a little while ago, you guys are always going to be there. And then your grandkids your children have now taken over as their favorite. And it is what it is.
Correct.
Anyways, what I want to get to is you guys, after law school's done, you guys both went away, yeah? Both went away for law school?
Yeah, I went to Windsor. Sandra went to Western.
Okay. And then after that, you guys started your law careers.
Hold on. Can we just go back? Sandra, quote unquote, went to Western. Sandra went to Western 1 day a week because that was her studying period. Again, osmosis. I don't even think she went to class. You even know who your professors were?
No.
Yeah.
You would touch a book and just like take a deep breath, inhale and be done?
Yeah. So school was... So you get blessed with certain things in life. Social aspects were always very easy to Ike.
Yeah.
Ike always had a million friends, girlfriends, everything. That part of his life was very easy. For me, school was always very easy.
Yeah.
But the social aspect, not so much.
Not
so much. Nobody was looking for me.
No.
Nobody's looking for me.
Yeah, maybe they did at the pool hall. No.
So you at the pool hall?
Yeah.
You have to leave you have to leave your couch to get to the pool hall to meet people, Diana.
No, she means when I was waitressing.
When she did her waitress job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Still no, eh?
No.
Anyway, so you guys go on with your
Here's your
careers.
drink. Here's your bill. Get the fuck out.
She probably was all business about it too.
I was.
All
I
business
was. I
about
didn't
it.
even know how to flirt. If somebody flirted with me, I would think they'd have something in their
I don't
eyes.
know
That's
if
how
you
oblivious.
still know.
I still don't know. I
We're
still don't know. I
getting
still
it.
miss
We're
all the
getting it.
cues. I'm really bad at it.
We're working on it.
I'm really bad at it. Okay, go ahead.
What I was trying to say is you guys went on in your careers. You, after law school, you got jobs at, like, where were you moving forward? Because you guys were kind of like moving at the same pace. I was,
she was-
pace.
No, I was
I
was ahead quite a bit because I had graduated
2003, right?
I graduated law school 2000. Well, I did masters too, right? So
You started working in 2004.
I started working 2003. No, 2003 I started working. I was the graduating class of 2001. Wow.
Right.
So I started working 2003, and then I articled first for Torquay Mains downtown, and then I worked for insurance defense firm, and then I moved to the plaintiff side.
Well, but hold on. Fun fact about Sandra Zisckind. I don't know if you know this, Diana.
I might not. But I'm happy to hear it.
Two-part answer because I'm laughing just talking about it. One is actually quite impressive. Sandra worked for Senator John
That's
McCain
true. I did.
in Washington, D.C.
I did.
As an aide, she did her master's in George Washington, which was very impressive.
I'm very impressive.
I'm not going to nerd alert that.
But funny part is Sandra also did her master's in the year of 9/11.
Yes.
And not funny topic, but after the fact, everyone had to leave and, they locked down Washington and whatever. And my mom happened to be in Washington that weekend helping Sandra move. And all of a sudden, after literally a day of not being able to reach them, they get up. They're like, listen, we can't get out. We're going to take a train or something or a flight. I don't remember what it was, a train or flight. Did you take a train or flight?
The flights were all grounded. So we had to figure it. I had to get mom back home, and we could only take a train to Baltimore and then fly out of Baltimore.
Right. But you couldn't cross the border. So I remember I had to go pick you up from the other side of the border.
Correct.
Now, here's where the funny situation is. So my father obviously is like, I have to work. He's not coming.
Right.
So all of a sudden, here's a young 25-year-old male with a dark beard, pretty tanned because it's, September. So I'm coming off, pretty tan. And I get to the border and my mom's Bonneville. So the registration's not under my name, nothing under, and this like random forest green Pontiac Bonneville. And I get to the border and they're like, where are you going, sir? I'm going to pick up my sister. She's coming in from Washington. That's nice, sir. Please step to the side. So
We're going to just strip search you.
Pretty much.
They were going to put a full cavity on it.
They literally did a full check on me. And so that was
I would do that too if I saw your face pull up. I got to be honest.
It just gives guilty.
It gives bad.
It does. That's okay. Then,
all right.
Okay, so you went on to your career. What did you do after law? Like, where did she did the article? She did the Senator John McCain. She did all the. What did you do?
I went to the bar.
He was at the pool hall. He was at the bar. He was at the bar.
Having parties.
He was having
doing ragers.
And while I was there, I actually got a job at a mid-size Bay Street firm that did corporate majority of the work they did insurance defense. So I got to experience a little bit of family, a little bit of corporate, a little bit of corporate litigation, and then insurance defense. It was actually an amazing experience. I made a lot of good friends and contacts there. I think what was good about that experience for me is that I actually realized there what I enjoyed and what I didn't.
Right.
I enjoyed litigating. I actually enjoyed because the first
There's so many types of law, right?
Right.
There's so many areas.
And I didn't know in general litigation per se what I wanted to do, but one thing that's really good about personal injury, whether you're on the insurance side or not, is that you get, as an articling student, you get ample opportunity to go and argue cases. So, while I was doing motions court 2 to 3 times a week all over in Ontario,
and Isaac loves to argue.
I had friends, right? Me? Nah. I had friends all over in bigger firms or in litigation departments that never saw the inside of a courtroom. They had no idea. And if you've never argued in front of a judge or been in a certain courtroom, you don't understand how it goes. And you're all of a sudden 5 years out and you're arguing like a simple motion. It kind of sucks. So I really got lucky. However, after that, I ended up working for an insurance defense firm for a year. And again, this is Sandra kind of mentoring me again because she was 4 or 5 years old. Called her up and I'm like, this is not for me. I didn't
Like the business, like corporate law aspect?
No, working
No.
for insurance. I had the
Working
same
for
thing.
the
When I worked for
insurance
the insurance companies, you go there and we were like, I was super successful. I won every single motion. Like the insurance companies loved me because I was unbelievable in court and I did such a good job for them.
How amazing you are.
I'm amazing. I am so amazing. But I was like undefeated on every single motion and I'd bring crazy motions.
Sandra is the most undefeated Arkling student of history.
Correct.
According to the Guinness Book of World
That's
Records
right.
of Sandraisms.
Of Sandraisms.
So it was like working for that corporate, like that insurance corporation that was rubbing you the wrong way.
You don't feel good. Like I remember I brought a motion to dismiss on a case that everyone expected me to lose and then I won. And then I won it for the insurance company. And this poor old lady, her claim got dismissed because I won the case. Like, so you don't feel good. Yeah. Yes.
You're a terrible person.
I'm a horrible person.
I've been telling people that for years. Nobody listens.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then after a while, I realized that I couldn't, I was on the wrong side. I couldn't do it. It didn't sit well with me. And I think that's
Makes
Isaac
sense.
where you were with. It's just
100%.
we're reporting to big insurance companies and there's nothing wrong with it. It's good work and there are great people that do it. It just wasn't for me.
Plus, you have that empathetic quality about you that you can you want to relate to people and what have you. Which I guess when did you start the conversation of let's build up Diamond? Let's do this.
I can tell you exactly. So we're actually on a family trip to Aruba for my mom's. I believe it was her 65th at the time. Or if that 10 years ago, no, 60th. It would have been her 60th birthday actually. 60th birthdays. Our kids were still babies. And we're sitting on the beach. And at that point, I was with my former firm, my mentor, was still one of my closest friends, Andrew Lee, who's a great dude. But I remember I pulled Sandra and Jeremy and I said, guys, I think I'm ready to go on my own. Whether it's small or not. Like my vision in my head at that point was small practice for myself, just get out on my own, be the entrepreneur.
Because you had that fire to do that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have my own shop. And I don't think without a hesitation, Sandra looked at me and she's like, let's do it together.
Correct.
And I said, fuck yeah, literally. Quotations. I mean, I'm swearing, but I'm like, that would be great. And so it kind of just evolved and then we took over,
and he's regretted it ever since. It's been a complete disaster.
Only Monday to Fridays. On the weekends, I'm so happy.
Exactly. No, so you guys just sat and you were like, yeah, we're going to do this, brother and sister. And then Jeremy, of course, but you guys, were okay working together.
So that was a concern at the time because, obviously Jeremy and I were married at the time and Isaac was like, I'm going to come in and what if the two of you outvote me all the time and I'll be on the losing end of the three. And I have to say throughout, we've been working together now for 10 years and over 10 years. And in the 10 years, more often than not, it's Isaac and Jeremy siding against me as opposed to me hooking up with anybody else. So that's usually how it works. Like sometimes it depends on the situation, but for the most part, it's the two of them coming in and saying, we need to talk to you. I'm like, oh crap. All right, here we go.
But I think in general, I mean, it's funny because I think at the beginning, it's tough to kind of figure out what everyone is good and then over time, people tend to, it's like, okay, you're taking care of this. I trust you. Yeah. Okay. You're taking care of this. I trust you.
But that's the key, right? It's the trust. There's a mutual respect between all three of us where if somebody's taking the lead with something or taking the reins, it's like, okay, I'm going to let you have this. Mm-hmm. I'm not interfering. Even if you fail, even if it's good or bad, we're not going to, and we won't hold it over your head if it doesn't go well. We're going to let you do what you need to do. And look, if we're successful, we all enjoy the success. So similarly, if we fail, we all have to take part in the failure. And that's sort of kept us going.
It's like the paper she wrote for you. It was like you guys coming together.
That's right. That's right. But it was Clockwork Orange. This is Clockwork Orange all over again.
Clockwork Orange.
See, still remember that.
You'll never forget it. We should have that framed and put it in your office.
Interesting fun fact. My daughter had to pick a book to do her grade essay. She picked Clockwork. I gave her 6 options and I just said, this is ones. And it's
Did you have PTSD when she said, I'm
a little bit. Look at his face. He's twitching on the left side.
Actually, no, because I want her to do better than me. I want her to do better than me.
She will. She's better than you in all aspects. Yes.
Of course she is.
All right. We're going to wrap it up with some rapid fire between Sandra and Isaac. I'm going to ask them the questions. They're going to say Sandra or Isaac. If you guys happen to point and hit me in the face in the process or fight over each other, just let me know and I'll push my chair back.
Hold on. Can we do like an intro to this?
What?
She just did the intro.
Zisckind versus Zisckind.
Right. It's the showdown. Ready? Real easy questions, okay? Who got their driver's license first?
Me.
I drove first.
What?
I drove first. She got
You
her
drove
license
first. I got the license.
Oh, okay. Who did
You
it
smashed
legally?
my car first.
Who was more sociable? I think that's
Ike.
Yeah.
Yeah, no argument.
Yeah.
Who's the life of the party?
Ike.
Definitely me.
Really? You do not right?
No.
Lately?
No.
Okay. Who's the better basketball player?
Ike.
Oh, God,
Obviously.
come on.
Obviously. I can't walk straight.
Okay, fine.
Right.
Fair.
My finger is a better basketball player than Sandra.
Sandra likes sports.
Wait, hold on. Can we? I know this rapid fire, Sandy. Can you tell the audience about your tennis lesson?
You have a tennis career?
No. I my parents were trying to figure out a sport for me to do, and they signed me up for tennis lessons. And the tennis pro came over and asked me, is somebody forcing you to do this?
You don't have to be
You don't have
here.
to be
I
here.
don't need the money.
That's right. Like I want to give your parents. I think they got a refund and told me.
So
to
what's
go
your
home.
shtick if you didn't have the sports and all this parties that this guy had?
I had my books.
She had Madonna.
And
She had Madonna.
I had Madonna.
And Diet Coke.
Well, then
I still have Diet Coke.
we always have Madonna and Diet Coke.
Always. All right.
Well, I guess that goes into who's the better singer, I guess.
Oh,
Who's better
Sandy
singer?
for sure.
Me.
Yeah,
I'm better singer.
Because you
yes.
had all that practice growing up your
Because I
lungs
had
as
to
a young
sing Vogue
girl.
over and over again. Yes.
Oh, who got their legal license first? I think you answered
Me.
this
Oh,
already.
of course, yes.
Okay, who does better in the Diamond and Diamond?
Oh, me, of course.
Isaac?
Wow.
Yeah,
Church.
me.
Fine. I'll give her that one.
Me.
I'll give her that one.
Me. It took us a long time for you to figure out.
Yeah,
where
but I'm
you were
good
listening.
now.
Okay,
You're better now. Fine, I'm still better.
I think you do okay.
Okay.
Right.
But you're
That's true. I'll give her that one.
who do you think does better with the public?
Me.
Though? But he's the sociable one. He's the guy. He's the one.
Me.
No.
It depends on the situation, actually. So I think it really depends
Me.
on what the.
Always me.
Okay.
Okay, who's better looking?
Me.
Isaac? Cured it. You almost have a celebrity like look-alike thing. You got this chiseled beard.
I'll say. Listen.
You know how many people are in
you
my
never-
DMs about you? Do you know
I
how many
was
people
taught
are
at a
in
young.
DMs about
I was taught at a young age. Never argue beauty with a woman. So.
What
Okay,
a
fuck you. I'm better looking. Objectively better looking.
What a gentleman. Last but not least, I'm going to probably push my chair back for this one. Who's smarter?
Me.
I like how Sandy was just like me. No.
Me.
No.
Come on.
We will never agree on that ever in
I
history.
feel like you might be smarter. Like you're better street smart, maybe. Like you're book smart as well, but you have more street
She's definitely more
sense and
book smart.
whatever.
I'll give her that. She has a better memory than I do in terms of like remembering things that she read. And
Like case law.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That really
Yes,
important thing that you need to be able to do.
You do. When
Sure.
you're running a firm.
Or I think I'm better
at.
at answering emails when yes is like
Yeah.
Y or an N. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
but,
Sandra, she just, we are not, well, that's a whole other podcast. It's talking about how Sandra replies to texts and emails. We'll leave that for
Sandra,
another
what are your thoughts on integrating the systems with so and so blah 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 and whatever? Yes.
7 points. Yes. Fine. Fine. Or no. A simple no. That usually gets us going.
I don't have a time.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. How do you guys like, obviously Diamond and Diamond started as like a family-based firm with the three of you guys getting this started. And we've you've maintained that like family style as big as the firm has gotten, right? There's still like this sense of like people can come talk to you is like very family oriented. Where do you see with the growth of the firm? Because now we're seeing offices getting up in the Maritimes and Quebec. I get like we're all over, right? Where do you guys see the firm going with that in mind, with the family value things that we have here? Where do you see that going in the next 5 years?
Global domination.
Let's go.
So every year we sit in a table like this and Isaac says to me, we're not opening any more offices. And he says, look me in the eyes. We're not opening any more offices. And every year I say, of course we're not.
Of course.
And every year I open up at least 2 to 3 new offices. So global domination might be correct.
I think he's finally on board by his response.
No, I think at this point he just knows that there's no point of talking to me.
I think it also, listen, it depends. I'm the problem is, and Sandy said it right, like I'm a very no. And then I have to think about it.
Yeah.
And then I have to, and then also the problem is timing for me as well. I'm a timing person. So, I look at the state of affairs of, the market of our finances or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, I'm good. And there's a lot of times I get scared.
There's a comfort.
I get scared. There's a comfort, right? So, when we embarked on buying real estate in a certain time, I'm like, let's go. But when it comes to opening up new offices, my first reaction is always, can we afford
to be clear, Isaac's new reaction to anything is you need 3 no's before you get a yes. You got to know with Isaac, it's 3 no's before you get a yes.
So that's where you guys see it. Just keep growing, keeping that.
Until I move to Florida with you, Diana, and we open up our Golden Girls home.
You're welcome to come.
No, you're not. You're not invited.
No,
He's not invited.
Interested.
He's not invited. He's not invited.
Well, you guys are great. You guys are so cute. I'm so happy. And I'm so I have siblings as well. And I don't think I could ever do this with them because we would probably murder each other. But anyways, that being said.
We can't do that on camera. We have to wait till the cameras are off.
Right.
Then we can start punching the crap out of each other, Diana. Come on.
Everybody got the cameras. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know Sandra and Isaac from their sibling type relationship and business, more importantly, as business partners.